Is Linux backdoored? I don't think any of you guys would be surprised if the news broke of Windows being backdoored, right? And same with Mac OS. But what is the alternative? What can we trust? Linux is the most obvious answer. The Linux kernel is open source, has been extremely scrutinized, and the kernel developers are really trustworthy. And I would agree, but the problem is that the Linux source code does not only consist of the kernel. In today's episode, is Linux backdoored? Sup guys, welcome to today's show. In the last stable release of Linux, version 7.1.6, the main kernel makes up for around 14%. The other main part is the hardware device drivers, comprised of 60%. And who is the author of these device drivers? Would you be surprised to know that more than 50,000 lines of code is written by Microsoft? It's true. And a huge part of the drivers are written by the hardware manufacturers themselves. Many of these are big companies such as Intel, Nvidia, and Asus. So if you don't trust these companies, can you trust Linux? Another interesting thing is that the kernel module AES.C, it is responsible for encrypting data using the hardware-assisted AES support in Intel CPUs. Many of you have seen my series of the backdoor inside the key schedule of these features. The interesting thing is the assembly code in AES.C is completely copy-pasted from the Intel manual, even the really shady stuff. You are probably familiar with the hardware privilege system in x86 CPUs, called the ring model. Ring 0 is the highest level, and this is where the main kernel runs, with access to everything. Ring 3 is the lowest privilege. It is known as userland, and this is where the user mode applications are running. Ring 1 and 2 is not being used in Linux. All kernel modules in Linux, including all the hardware device drivers, they run at ring 0. This means that a backdoor or an intentional bug will have complete access to all memory, all disks, the network interface card, and all other hardware. And remember that a pretty big part of these modules is written by Microsoft. To summarize, I am not saying I know Linux is backdoored, but I would say the probability is pretty huge. We need a new OS. I really hope you like this episode. Please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Thanks for tonight.